This is gonna be like a what if Naruto had a what if Naruto was a dragon, a complete overpowered dragon. Now, just to say, just to tell people, this this Naruto absolutely does not care about peace. Well, actually, he does care about peace, but the natural balance of life, not humanity type of peace. Not humanity type of peace. Uh, this what if will be very, very brutal and dark, and it won't be like the same at all. So, let's get started. So, we start off at the very beginning of time, when the God tree was planted. It was very much very powerful. As the God tree was planted, it was it had lots of power. Now, there would the God tree would just be there for how many he said it would have been when something happened. The energy from the tree would start to split. As then it will completely start to split down as the tree was to grow smaller and smaller. And as it goes small, it would separate to three. And there's a little essence of the God tree would go somewhere else. As this would very much turn into large rocks. As the large rocks would settle, as then they would glow. As the energy of the rocks would reform together, larger. One top of the rock, a blackish, silverish type of pure black color on the top. The middle of the rock type of reddish bluish hue, and the bottom of the rock a silver red. This rock is an egg. As then the God tree would plant itself. As then time would go on, it would bear another egg slash the rock slash egg. Instead of it turning being an egg, this would have made a fruit. That's very much, Kaguya came around and kind of ate the fruit. As she ate the fruit, she inherited chakra, and she stopped the war. This would have made a big problem. After eating the fruit, the chakra that she was giving around started to, turn into something. As a massive pool of chakra, pure energy, raw power, will form into a beast. It's called the Jubi, and this wouldn't have a shape at all. Well, actually, it's going to be an avatar. A complete avatar. So, what the avatar is going to look like is basically, it basically looks like Titanus Ghidorah. Same size, or Monster Zero, if you want to say. Same size, but pretty much that kind of power will just be radiating off it with this golden energy. As the beast would just start to rampage through every little spot. It will destroy almost everything of the countries. Kaguya wouldn't, well, do anything, because really, she's already still in the moon. And her son, Hagoromo, and her other child, I completely forgotten the name, want to stop the Jubi. And as the Jubi would completely, it would take Hagoromo for his full combined Susanoo with his brother's help to completely take this thing down. I'm not sure if his brother had a Susanoo. I know he had the Byakugan. I'm gonna say he had the Sharingan too. And his Susanoo to take this thing down. And completely this beast. This is when they would have chained it up and completely rechained it, as Hagoromo would have sealed it inside himself. As he done this, after sealing the Jubi inside, he will learn the locations of the 3/fusion eggs, rocks. As he would have gone there and saw this as amount of a lot of chakra. I mean a lot. Not close to the Jubi, but let's say QB influence Jinchuriki mode. Nothing special, like just like that. A portion of Kurama's chakra. Not even, it's just not the cloak. It's just the physical attributes. Growing nails, claws, type of description. That's the power of it. And still, it's very powerful. So Hagoromo would see it as he would think, whatever this thing is, it's growing. Its chakra might be very low, small, but it's growing. And the potency of it, it's so dense. So he would completely seal the egg inside of himself too. Actually couldn't. Well, number one, the egg is right next to the god tree. And Hagoromo saw this as a big problem, and well, the god tree what created the Jubi, and from this information with Jubi, it would spawn another egg/plant fruit in a millennia.
What are you doing, sir?
Egg/plant/ basically another Jubi every millennium. So Hagoromo very much, who didn't want another Jubi rampaging around in another millennium, because well, that's kind of a bad thing. So he would basically prevent the Jubi from prevent this Gachi. So how he would think of completely cutting it down. So he would use his perfect Susanoo to chop it down, but after making a good slash into the tree trunk that's pretty deep, that would make a normal tree timber, it will completely regenerate. Like boom. It's almost like type of, it wasn't there. it'll be there 1 second, and then it'll just like heal. And Hagoromo see this as a big problem. If he can't cut this tree down, it's gonna be a huge problem. So he would be finding himself a large problem here, and this is when he'll get the bright idea, a very bright idea, cause this egg right here is so dense in chakra, he would completely fuse the egg with the god tree. Now, how would he do this? He would do a special jutsu, completely fusing the egg with the tree. Well, not the egg actually, just completely killing the god tree, but all the raw power and would just flow right into the egg. There wouldn't be no difference at all. The raw power would just combine with the small amount of condensed energy, and it would just stay the same. However, I wouldn't see this as a problem because the chakra amount didn't change at all. So he think, oh, well, it worked. Or it cast each other out. That's good. So he kept the egg. The egg. And very much Hagoromo didn't. So as Hagoromo would have had, his two sons, Indra and Ashura, they would have this dispute, But then this is when, Hagoromo's life started coming to an end. And as he would very much still have the Jubi inside of him, and he didn't want the Jubi being free, because if he dies, the Jubi's free, and none of his sons is very much in the position of holding the Jubi. He knows Indra can probably hold it, but Ashura will probably get jealous because how much the power Jubi holds. So he can't give it to any of his sons, so he gets the bright idea of splitting it down. As he would split it down. And just to tell you, this version of the Jubi, it's, let's just say 5,000 times stronger than the original Jubi that Hagoromo fought. Ha ha ha. So yeah, as Hagoromo was split Jubi into 9 entities. Shikaku, Matatabe, Ishibu, Son Goku. I forgot the 5 tails name. Kokoro, I think that's his name. Seiken, Chome, Giki, and Kurama. As he would have named them, and as very much they would have stayed together for the last moments of the old man's life. He still would have kept the egg. Very much brought the egg to the seal one of those years. Let's say he had another 20 years left of his life. So the Bijus would just look after this egg, and they'll still kind of be confused what's inside the egg, and they'll kind of be confused, like, is it another Biju or something like that, or is it just a complete useless of a rock? Kurama would think there's no point to keep it around because it's a complete heap. There's something's in it. They can feel it. It's chakras. Chakra is low. It's really low. It's around one tail's cloak. Yeah, one tail's cloak of Kurama. That kind of tells you it's pretty weak, but its chakra is very much dense. It's the same density as a Jubi. The same density as the Jubi. That's very much, they will find this very interesting about this egg. Hagoromo would very much see this egg as something different, something way beyond anything that they can possibly understand by this egg. So it would keep it. As time would go on, the egg would start to feed off of the Biju's chakra, including Hagoromo's. It's a subtle feed off, but after a month of feeding off the Biju's and Hagoromo's chakra, it would stop. And the day that Hagoromo was about to die, the egg, it starts the day Hagoromo was going to die, when the Biju's are going to be separated from each other for a long time. The egg starts to hatch. The egg will start to rumble. Now, this would cut the other Biju's off guard because they're having a tender moment with their father, and they'll look to the egg, and Hagoromo will walk to it, and the Biju would come around the egg, and as the eggs would hatch, as cracks would appear in the rock, and as cracks and more cracks, and as pure chakra, dense chakra, just like the Jubi, will start to leak out from the egg. Red chakra will just spiral out. Then blue chakra will flow out. Then pure blackish purplish chakra will spew out as well. And as then the egg would finally crack. And as then they would see a creature. They don't know what it is, but this is when the creature would form, showing this. It's an animal. It'll be a black dragon. It's a black dragon that would look up to see Hagoromo. The black dragon would very much look around, and as it would look at everyone around it, and as very much they would all kind of be confused. What is this? Hagoromo would say, "So that's what came out the egg. You're a dragon." As the baby dragon, looked towards the 66 paths and says, "Yes, I am a dragon." And they're all surprised that this thing can speak. It's very young, but it can speak. Now, Hagoromo says, "You need a name." The dragon would say, "I guess. How about Naruto?" "Yes, Naruto." Naruto would smile, I guess, if dragons do smile. I'm very much be happy and just thank you, old man. And after this, their bond will just grow until the old man's about to die. As then the old man say, Shikaku, Matabe, Isube, Son Goku, Kokiro, Saiken, Chome, Giki, Kurama. Take care of each other. Naruto, guard them, please. Don't let anything happen. And very much Hagoromo would release the Biju's. And before this, Hagoromo would say, "Naruto, huh? I want to tell you something." "Yeah, old man." Naruto would listen to this old man. Hagoromo would say, "Make sure that the God plant does not grow again." Got that? The God plant grows, another Jubi will form. And that is something that I do not want to happen. Now, Naruto, who would have been part of the God Plant, very much would know about it because, well, he was part of it, and it kind of he was part of the big plant. And as he was, yes, I won't let it form. I promise, oh man. Thank you. Those are my last wishes. Take care, Naruto. As he would fade away, as Naruto would very much leave, as all the BGs would be set free now to be in the world, wherever they want to be. Now, the BGs would kind of go on their own paths, just like regional and, yeah. After very much leaving, they would all kind of go on with their lives like there's really nothing. So after Indra and Ashra fought, very long time, because they were very much pure rivals. After fighting each other for so long, Naruto would have got tired of it. Very much tired and this is kind of what the old man did not want at all. And with all this fighting, the negative energy of all this chakra would start to regrow the God tree. Because the God tree feeds our negative energy in this chakra. And the God tree is actually Senjutsu chakra. I'm sure of it because it's nature. So Naruto would probably actually go out to deal with this. Now, I do not actually know how big the dragons of Monster Hunters are, because that's kind of hard to decipher for me. I don't know if they're 100 meters or Titanic size or skyscraper size. I'm sure they're huge. Naruto very much would land right in front of Ashura and Indra fighting. As Ashura, this perfect Susanoo, would see Naruto land, and as he would know this is one of the tail beast, Naruto would snarl, and as he would completely stop the two stop fighting. As he snarls, he would snarl at Indra and Ashura, as he would tell the both, why are you two fighting? There's no petty reason you're fighting. Your father wouldn't want this. The old man would want you to work together. Not to fight together, not to fight each other. Indra would be ashamed of himself, because, well, he's the type of person that cares for people. So he would say, I'm sorry. As he would stop his hold of fighting, Ashura would say, who are you? Who are you? All you are is a mass of chakra. You have no opinion. Stay out of this. As he would attack Naruto out of the petty reasons, his BG just tried to stop him from it. So, Naruto started fighting Indra. Ashura. After fighting Ashura and completely pummeling him down, he would very much snarl at him and says, of course, all you depend on your stupid eyes. Those damn Sharingans. Petty. And as he would completely open his mouth, and as a ball of condensed chakra, a ball of negative and positive energy was nature energy was at the form in his mouth, and this would be a hot, and as flames start to form. And as this ball start to form, it'll be a dark purple black type ball of pure flames, and as he would blast the ball at Ashura, completely consuming him. Indra. After Indra was blown back, his perfect Susanoo was destroyed. Indra would be pissed and say, so be it. And as he would very much leave. Ashura would have made a connection with Naruto and very much invite him to the homes of the Senju and Uzumakis. Naruto would stay with Ashura for a very long time. The people would even call him by Naruto because really, they really think all they think of Naruto is a massive power to them, something that they can control. So they called him Nergigante. Very much after calling him Nergigante for many, many years, after being called him Gigante, Ashura would come back once more to have come back to clash with Ashura. As they would have done, Ashura says, I won't let you have your pet. And as Indra would have put Naruto under Genjutsu. And as Naruto's eyes would now morph into the Sharingan. And after doing that, Ashura would start to place his perfect Susanoo over Naruto's body. Indra says, look, Ashura, the power that I have, you cannot rival me. All you are is a boy towards me, a bug in my path. Very much Ashura would see it as a big problem, but this is when as they would start to fight. As they start fighting, Ashura's pretty much losing. And this is when Indra says, it's over. And as it's about to be blown back, Ashura's about to be completely destroyed. This is when a ball of condensed chakra would push Indra back. The perfect Susanoo Nergigante back. And as the nine-tailed fox, Kurama, would stay right there. And as Indra says, thank you, Kurama. You're welcome, the fox says. And as they would let Indra on its head, and very much start fighting with Ashura. I'm not sure if Kurama and Ashura had a good connection with each other. I know he probably wouldn't see Kurama as a pile of power. So after completely beating Ashura, very much Ashura says, I won't let you win. Kurama would say, I'm going to have to kill off Naruto. I have no choice. Very much in Naruto's mind, because I'm sure the beaches have some connection to communicate with each other. Naruto told Kurama, kill me. I'll just reform later on. I'll be fine. The fox would nod and say, see you soon, brother. And as the fox would completely start to beat and pummel down on the Nergigante, Susanoo armor, as the Susanoo armor would completely be destroyed and killing, and as he would kill off the Naruto. as Naruto die. And after dying, his body will start to glow. And very much, he will start to turn to chakra. The black and purple chakra would just collapse on itself and separate out into the world. And after that, it was over. 30 years has passed. Almost 50 years has passed. And the Uchihas and the Senjus are still fighting. And then finally, Naruto was to reform. And as his chakra that was black and purple started to have a red and blue hue, and as it would burst into flames, as they'll finally combine, yes, he would reform as this. A Safiri Jiva, as Naruto would open his eyes and would remember what happened. And I'm sure very much Masters of Chakra would probably know what's going on. So he would know 50 years have gone by, and he would open his wings and sail to the air. As he would smell a scent of Chias, completely going the other way, finding the Senjus. After finding the Senjus area, would stay in their land for, another 20 years. Another 30 to 40 years, and when the time of Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju, they were still fighting pretty much. Naruto got tired of it again, and very much went to find the leader of the Senjus, because the Senjus are very much tolerable and they could easily be talked through. The Uchihas are stubborn in their eyes, because their eyes are so all powerful. Seeing that they're really the ultimate warriors, Naruto would go to Hashirama, finding him. And Hashirama would have felt this massive chakra. It's around the size of the Nine Tails. As he would turn his head to see Naruto, as he would land right in front of him, as the red dragon would fold his wings back in. Now, Hashirama would prepare to fight this mighty beast, but Naruto would say, "Be calm, Senju. I mean no harm. I am Safijiva, the dragon of domination. And what you also know me by is Nergigante, the dragon of Senju, the one that defeated Indra and helped Ashura in battle. Mighty Nergigante, or Safijiva. I'm sorry for... It's fine," Naruto says. "I don't do Sama. Just call me Naruto. Yes. I've came here to stop this war between you and the Uchihas. It's completely killing off the lives of others, and it's not so good." Hashirama says, "I tried to convince Madara, but he won't listen. I've known him for a very, very long time." Now, they would convince the Uchihas to finally back down, and as they would finally do. And Konoha was formed. Hashirama and Madara would form it with the Uchihas and the Senjus. And more people would come into the village one by one. Hashirama would have actually sealed the Bijus, taken the Bijus and gave them to the other countries, and keeping the Nine Tails with Konoha. Now, Naruto wouldn't want to get into this, because really, his other brothers and sisters really don't check up on him that much. So kind of leaves him be. It really is kind of amusing seeing that the only one that's not sealed is Kurama and him. So very much after that, the Chias would have to start to have a problem, and Madara and Hashirama would have to settle it out. Madara very much taking his brother's eyes and get the eternal Mangekyo of Sharingan. And after doing that, would have a fit and completely tell Hashirama to resign from Hokage. And they would have their battle in the Valley of the End. It was good to canon when Madara completely summoned Kurama to the fight. And this is when he would start to use his perfect Susanoo with Kurama and start to fight. Hashirama use his Sage mode and go to battle. Because Kurama's a lot stronger from the original and actually stronger than the original Jubi from the original Naruto, because I have a bit of trouble. Now, this is when Hashirama says, then fine, I'm going to call some help then. This is when he would completely do some hand signs, and as a puff of smoke and as glowing eyes, glowing orange/crimson eyes would open, and as huge wings, tan like red wings would open, and as it would show the mighty Biju Safijiba. I'm not sure if this will be called QB or QB. I don't know. It is as powerful as Ninetales, so I guess it would also be called QB because of its power, but it only has one tail. People also call it QB because, well, it's the most powerful with Ninetales. And as Naruto will say, so they're still acting up. Uchihas, troublesome people. And as very much Hashirama would say, yes, can you help me with Madara? Sure, why not? And as this is when they'll go to battle. After completely beating down Madara, after killing him off finally, the village Kurama would be sealed and into Mito. The villager would be kind of worried now because there's a wild Biju running out of place now. Because really, things wouldn't be going so well. And this is when many of the villagers would start to go after Naruto just for the claiming to put inside of a human being. And Naruto would have to be really offended by this. He would completely save them from any kind of troubles. But this is how they treat him? Nah. But Naruto would kind of just be resting on a huge mountain, just relaxing, and as this is when he would open his eyes and see a familiar presence, and it's just been 20 years. Or 10 years. Well, 5 years, and Togurama would be ruling as Hokage. And as his eyes would open, as he would snarl, as he says, Madara, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead. The Uchiha would smile, saying, you can never get rid of me, mighty Safijiba. I'm gonna take your power and conquer the world using you as just a platform. And Naruto would say, over my dead body. Well, we shall see. As their battle would start, it would shake the whole mountain range. And it's causing complete huge flames and chaos just to be blown apart. Naruto would completely be drained of all, to completely be Madara. But after Ichigo fled away, Naruto would actually be pretty much on the verge of dying. After completely trying to recuperate, Madara would make one more final attempt, and as he would use his famous jutsu that he likes to use, as completely collapsing a meteor on top of him. But Naruto would destroy the meteors, and eventually killing himself. As Madara says, crap, I killed him. It's gonna take him forever to reform. Don't worry. I'll come for you, mighty Safijiva. As then, after a good amount of time, 20 years would go by. I would think Karusa would be ruling as Hokage by now. Naruto would reform finally. Finally reforming in a Valse track. Valse track, and as a very slim dragon, unlike the two powerful, bulky dragons. The Gigante as a legend would be more brute strength and dominance, while the Safijiva would be more a ninjutsu type of dragon. This would be speed and accuracy. As Naruto would open his eyes, and as he would get up, and as high in the skies in the mountain range where he fought Madara, he would snarl and says, that blasted Uchiha. They have no respect. As he opened and looked at his wings, as he closes them in, as he would rocket right up the mountain, flying. As there would have been the second creation of the world would have gone by, and the third would be pretty much going on. And Naruto would have been now known as the Yellow Fire Konoha, and a lot of things would have gone down. Things would be going so well as this is when October 10th, as Naruto would be laying in his mighty mountain that's high above the skies. As he relaxes, he would open his eyes and he would see a red eye with 3 Tomoes. And as his eyes, the blue Sharingan as his slit eyes would morph. His blue slit eyes would morph into a blue patterned Sharingan as he would roar out. And as the man would say, go destroy Konoha Sato, the village hidden in the leaves. And as the mighty dragon would fly off, as the vast track would go off to destroy Konoha, with the Kyuubi, with the 2 Kyuubis going out destroying Konoha. Can you defeat them, Sensei? As Gamabunta landed on Kurama would be very much pissed as he... Damn you, Minato. You will pay for what you've done. And I said, then Minato about to start to use that hand signs to reap a death seal as a roar would be heard. Everyone would look up to see something flying. Kushina would look and she would see an object flying right down towards them. And as it would stop and as it would land. And as the beast would reveal itself to be this dragon. As Minato said, no way. The other Kyuubi, the other Nine Tails. The other Nine Tails. How? As the three Tomui in the eyes, as the beast would roar, and as this is when it would fly away, going to Konoha. Minato was like, damn it, I can't use to repeat that still to see them both. As Minato would flash away quickly as possible, as Kushina would, oh no, this is when the mighty dragon would land in Konoha. Everyone think we're safe, and I stand and they'll see this, the mighty vast track of legend, the mighty vast track that saved held Hashirama. The same dragon that defeated Indra. The same dragon that goes by three names. Nergigante, Sagidiva, and Vastrak. Starts to destroy the village that it protects. Everyone will be in panic as they start to scream out. And as the dragon will use his giant wing like rockets to burn everything to the ground. As it opened its large mouth as flames to emit, as red and blue like flames would open, as it would shoot a blast of energy as it would shoot out, causing complete destruction, as this creature would just destroy everything, not leaving anything behind, as Konoha would almost be completely destroyed. And this is when it's flashed away. The mighty beast would be confused and assist in the same planes as they saw the Nine Tails. Kurama would look in his eyes. Damn it, he got you under the same genjutsu. And as then Minato would say, alright, as he'd do different hand signs, seal. And as he would seal Kurama into a baby girl with red hair. Well, two baby girls. One mixed with blonde and red hair, and the other having pure blonde hair. After sealing the two, Minato was going to do hand signs, and as he would look at the dragon would snarl, growl. And as this is when Minato would do hand signs, and as he would start to seal the dragon would refuse to be sealed as children. And as it would release so much chakra would start to break the genjutsu. And as it breaks the genjutsu, but also the amount of energy being released start to shake the whole place. And as a bright light would happen as a flash. And as this is when a baby boy would just be right in the middle. And it's blonde like hair with three like whisker marks. And it starts with a cry. Minato would look, and as he would see, it looked exactly like him. Kushina would look at the baby and she'll have this feeling that to protect it. And as this is when will take him in. And as they would really take the child in, what should we name him? Naruto. Naruto. Master says, "Is that fish cake? Aren't you naming me Nato?" No, it's fine. After finally, October 10th would be over. 5 years later, a boy was ready to run as villagers were chasing. "Come back here, demon. Yes, demon. You must be punished for what you've done." And as the blonde-haired boy, the bright golden blonde-haired boy would turn around, his blue eyes would widen as he would see these people, these villagers, like, he would say, "There you are, demon. Finally cornered you. This is it, demon. Are you ready?" "No, I didn't do anything. What did I do?" "You know what you did, demon. You took my father. You took my mother. You took my wife. You took my husband. You took my children. You must die." And as he's when they'll start to beat the child, as they beat the child with no mercy. See, the child would cry as this is when two Ambu would appear, and as they would just completely slaughter them, killing off the villagers, and as they'll take the boy to the hospital. That's it for today. I can't do any more because my device is gonna die. Alright, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, please, and share this to your friends. Goodbye.